Hi, it's Johnny Flynn from the state of Connecticut, running for U.S. Senate against Richard Blumenthal. So we had an event last night that we went to. Fantastic. Met 5 of my followers I've never met before. There were a lot of people there. Hats off to everyone who attended in Meriden. But one of the ladies gave me this sign: unmask our kids, let them breathe. Yeah, so let's use it. Let's put it in the office. Interesting. But I want to highlight an article about Richard Blumenthal, my opponent. And here it is. Please bear with me. Richard Blumenthal is upset that People's Bank got purchased by MT Bank in Massachusetts Bank, and it's going to have 744 layoffs in Connecticut. Bank mergers have taken a toll on jobs and competition in Connecticut and nationwide. He's going to, they paid $6.7 billion, and they're laying off 747 people, a 13.3% cut of the workforce. They have 5,600 employees. But what do you need to know, folks? Let me tell you. What you need to know is that when Fleet Bank Boston was bought by Bank America, they laid off a third of their staff. Now, when Fleet merged with Bank Boston, they laid off a third of their staff. And what happened in Connecticut? Massive fraud happened in Connecticut under Jim Himes's and Christopher Shea's just looking the other way. What's going to happen here? Well, let me tell you. Let's get back to Bank America, and I'll tell you what's going to happen to People's Bank. They're going to lay off staff and divisions of the company that overlay, like accounting, save jobs there, computerize everything, let people go and let many branches go. And that's exactly what Fleet did when they bought Shawmut. Now, Shawmut financed slavery in America. So did the other banks that Fleet owned. So Fleet was responsible for the reparations that people are talking about, no one else. And when you look at reparations, you say, well, the King of England before the Revolution controlled the slavery business. Oh, yes, he did. And then when America was formed, 11 of the 13 original colonies said no to slavery. Slavery was not on the table in the first draft of the Declaration of Independence. So when you look at American history, these Democrats have twisted it to oblivion. And what you need to know is that I'm going to go over some other articles here. When, in fact, Bank America took over Fleet Bank Boston, 253 brokerage firms failed, small ones, that were clients of U.S. Clearing, Fleet Securities, Quick and Riley. Keep in mind, when these mergers occur, they get rid of the clients they don't want. Who would that be? Oh, they want Greenwich, Darien, and New Canaan clients that have $10 million in the bank. They just don't want Bridgeport, Shelton. They don't want the people who are constantly writing checks they can't cash. They don't want people who are behind on they're going to spin off the credit card business that does nothing for them. And that's how it affects Connecticut. So Richard Blumenthal was there the entire time that the 253 brokerage firms failed due to the Bank America merger. And we wrote him. We've been writing him since 2000. As Attorney General, he allowed for it. Now he's making a stink. The 744 jobs being lost. But let's look at some of the other articles that appear. If you look at the language and what people are saying, News 8 reached out to M&T Bank for comment. This step was taken to ensure our new organization is structured in a way that provides the best quality service for our customers and communities. The layoffs, I am demanding additional information from the bank, seeking federal and state regulatory action. Excuse me, he can't stop a merger. It's certainly not a monopoly. And he has no business and no jurisdiction over People's Bank. Look at the other articles. Let's bring them up one by one. 747 employees, 16 locations in Connecticut. May 2022, according to Federal Worker Adjustment and Retaining Notification received by the agency. 13% cut in the staff to save money, to bolster profits for the shareholders. But Richard seems to think that's his job. I have written him numerous times about 500,000 felonies that happened in Connecticut due to the Bank America merger, and we had 9 detectives in 9 different police departments researching the amount of cashed stolen checks totaling over $47 million. So here we go, folks. There are millions of shares of stock missing due to the Bank America merger. Yes, those accounts, Bank America just took the shares, put them in their legal department, and you'll never get them back. Keep in mind, I owned a brokerage firm. I was a vaccine analyst. We had biotechnology research about Select Therapeutics, about Regeneron. We had 4,000 biotechs in our database. The SEC destroyed the biotechnology industry by changing the listing requirements and making it practically impossible for the companies they didn't like to raise money. So the FDA got its Genentechs and all the big biotechs well funded. They approved what they wanted, and there's some serious questions about how Fauci has been using certain schools, colleges, to research vaccines and other products using. I'm afraid to share some videos that I have, folks, even though the stuff I have and I have been sharing is quite risque, and potentially questionable because they are attacking me. I have 7 people trying to shut me down at the moment. A 2-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 12-year-old who filed protective orders against me talking about them on the internet. So, there is an all-out assault on Connecticut over media. I can prove this. I will. Look at the Hour's comments about me from 2 days ago. It's disturbing, and I've contacted them about it. We're going to have to do something in Connecticut that other states haven't done. You're not going to believe it till you see it. But when you get back to the Blumenthal thing, okay, Blumenthal is maintaining, okay, as he's taking payments from 5G, that 5G has no health consequences. Excuse me, 5G is 60 times stronger than 4G. The nanowatt limit in Poland is 9 because 10 affects your DNA. The limit in Connecticut is 600, folks. They are going to, if you've seen all these 5G towers along the Merritt Parkway, you've seen all these 5G towers along I-95, there are gigantic 5G towers going up everywhere during a pandemic, and 20 of the symptoms of coronavirus are the same as 20 of the symptoms of 5G. It affects your immune system. It causes retina detachment, eye blindness, cancer, hypersensitivity, hundreds of things 5G will do to you. I'm talking about Richard Blumenthal taking money, telling you, just like cigarettes, just like DDT, that, oh, 5G won't hurt you. There's no evidence that 5G, there's no studies done, 5G won't hurt you. That is a bold-faced lie to accept money, just like OxyContin. Look at the settlement of Tong, $300 million. That's a joke, okay? That's a joke. 220 people die daily of OxyContin. The Democratic National Committee is responsible for 5G and Oxy. Yes, it is. Look at the net neutrality of Biden. Look at your internet speeds going down as we speak. This internet speed reduced on my own house from 7.5 to 4.5 when that law passed. Yes, it did. Are you tracking these things? You really should. I'm taking an awful lot of risk, folks, to talk the way I am about the people that I am talking about. And Richard Blumenthal is responsible for 5G and the cover-up, just like OxyContin. Did you know that Richard returned his OxyContin contributions, political campaign contributions? Why? Because he knows that the evidence suggests it was overprescribed, much more addictive than they said. And there are problems here, folks. There are problems here. The People's Bank merger is minor, okay? 747 Connecticut residents going bye-bye. Guess what? Many more Bank America, Fleet Bank Boston, Fleet, U.S. Clearing, and Fleet Securities jobs were lost during the mergers prior to the purchase of Fleet by Bank Boston, by Bank America. So, look at the mergers. They save money through the merger process. It's a consolidation. They get rid of the unwanted accounts. They sell off all the parts, the branches they don't want in the So now, you don't see him complaining about access to banking or access to hospitals. Keep in mind this. Ready? Pete Buttigieg made his name on selling hospitals, selling off their divisions, and making people drive 100 miles further to the hospital. He was a vulture capitalist, okay? How he got a position in the Biden administration is beyond me. Do we have to explain how these things affect Connecticut? Yes. 1,500 hospitals have been closed. Guess what? That doesn't help Medicare for all. Excuse me. They're moving the nut under the shells in a shell game without people getting the proper information to make informed decisions about voting. The last person in the world you want to vote for is Richard Blumenthal. Why? Is he a white supremacist? Does he own the Empire State Building through a trust? Through his wife? Does he own 40 strip malls? Is he a white supremacist? By my definition, yeah. Does he have 1,041 bills in the Senate while Cory Booker has only 39? Richard Blumenthal has 1,000 more bills than anyone else. So guess who's driving the bus to destroy America? Guess who wrote the Iran deal? Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. There he is. expose it, talk about it, share it, and if you don't, you are going to lose everything. Who would pay Iran to run their centrifuges to make enriched uranium? Who sponsored the Uranium One deal? And who sponsored Rostec? Rostec is a gigantic Jim Himes problem. So is OxyContin. My congressman has NSA oversight, FBI oversight, CIA oversight. They are surveilling you through certain acts, bills they've passed. They have access to everyone's computer. They are now using social media to stop your First Amendment right. You need to stand for the flag, kneel for the cross, and vote for Johnny Flynn. And if you don't, I don't need $10 from you. I need you to share, follow, and convert Democrats to vote Republican to get me through the primary. I will be primaried by at least 2 people, and they don't have a chance, folks. I will primary Richard Blumenthal if I have to, but it is tricky. If I have to switch to primary him, I've already invited him to debateattorney.com, which you need to follow and share. Should I put it on screen? Let's do it. Let's go to debateattorney.com. Debateattorney.com. Oh, can't reach this site. I spelt it wrong, that's why. Hold on, folks. It's very, very important. There it is. Let's see if we can get on there. Winning elections, debateattorney.com. Here it is. Get it on screen. There it is. Let's make it bigger. Okay. Let's show you how to work the site. Look here. U.S. Senate declarations. Nominees for the House. Ready? These people have been nominated, ready? By me, to debate. John Larson, right here. Rosa DeLauro. Jim Himes. Johanna Hayes has been nominated. Joe Courtney to debate me on H.R. 1. Mike France is a friend of mine. I endorse him, and you better too. Adam Kinzinger, the worst Republican in the United States, just asked by Nancy Pelosi to head up the January 6th commission for the Republican Party. He is a traitor. Who is he going to debate? Hopefully, he will debate. Let's see if I have his picture yet. Right here. Jack Lombardi from Illinois, who will trounce him into oblivion if people understood how big a patriot Jack Lombardi is and how big a traitor Adam Kinzinger is. So there you go. Who's Carla Spaulding? Oh, you gotta know. You gotta know. Well, you recognize her, Marjorie Greene. Do you recognize Brian Merlin, the opioid advocate? He and Jim Himes, right here, really can't stand each other. I went to a meeting with Himes last week. Himes refused opioid addicted people, refused to give them Narcan if Brian Merlin, right here, did not drop out of his congressional race between the two of them. Oh yes. And what also happened with Himes? Himes plays a dirty pool, folks. Himes, my congressman, has NSA oversight, FBI oversight. He brought Schiff. He works for Schiff. And he brought Comey from Connecticut's FBI down to Washington, D.C. to falsify the Mueller report, to falsify the Trump collusion investigation. Jim Himes said for 3 years he had evidence in his possession of Russian collusion by Donald Trump. Guess what? The collusion was based on the Clinton Global Initiative with Rostec and Uranium One, and the Clinton Global Initiative received $550 million, okay, from the Abraj Group and its backers, who are Iraqi, Iranians. You look at the list. Watch my video 421. Watch it. It's not my best video, folks, but it is powerful. And if you don't follow and take my advice, you're going to be thrown in the oven like Hansel and Gretel threw the witch into the oven. Because these people have A, no ethics, B, no morals, C, no backbone, and they are not Americans. The people I am endorsing, I wholeheartedly need you to support, and I thank you very much. Have a great day. Signing off. I'd like to show my Unmask Our Kids sign. Let them breathe. Thanks to 2 lovely ladies from Avon, Connecticut, 2 of my followers who I've never met before. I'd like to sing a song, but I'm afraid it's from Cabaret, you know. 2 ladies, diddly-dee-dee-dee, and I'm the only man here. I tell you, lovely ladies that are supporting Johnny Flynn as you should. Thank you very much. Have a great day. 22 minutes. No one's going to listen to this.